Welcome back. We're going to look at S22 point-slope form. We're going to write an equation from a graph. Look at this graph. What is the equation of the line in point-slope form? Use the red dot in your equation. Write your answer using integers, proper fractions, and improper fractions in simplest form. So I've gone ahead and written out point-slope form. And all we're going to do first, before we even look at these boxes down here, let's go ahead and see if we can write it ourselves. So here's the red dot that we're using, and we have to figure out what that point is, and then we have to figure out our slope, and then we can write our equation. So the point is, let's see, 7, 6. And now let's look at the slope. Now you can find the slope one of two ways. You can either take 2 points from the line and do the slope formula, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, or you can use the graph and count the blocks. I'm going to do both just to verify. So here I am at 7, 6, and I know this is going to be a negative slope. No, it's not. It's going to be a positive slope, because my line is rising from left to right like an airplane taking off. So if I go to this point and I count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and to the left 1, that would mean my slope would be positive 8. And you can test it. If you go from here and go up to the red dot, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1 to the right. So you could say the slope is 8 over 1, or you could just say it's 8. And I told you I would do this both ways so that we could verify. So I'm going to use 0.7, 6 as my x1, y1. And I'm going to use the next point as 6, negative 2 as my x2, y2. And my slope is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And that looks like this: negative 2 minus 6 divided by 6 minus 7. Negative 2 minus 6 is negative 8. 6 minus 7 is negative 1. And a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so negative 8 divided by negative 1 is positive 8. So I'm pretty confident that we're right. So if we write our formula now, we could say y minus, here's our y1, 6, is equal to our slope, which is 8. And then we have x minus x1, which is 7. And we can go ahead and fill in those points. So we have a 6 here, an 8 here, and a 7 here. Let's go ahead and do another. We have our point is 30, 30. Let's find our slope. So I know it's positive because it's rising from left to right. This time I'm just going to start over here where I can find another place where the line crosses on the coordinate plane at an intersection. This looks good. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to go up 1 and then over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would say our slope is 1 over 5. However, I am going to verify by using the slope-intercept form. Not slope-intercept form, but the slope formula. Boy, it's late. I had to think about what I was writing. Slope is equal to y2 minus y1, or x2 minus x1. And so I need another point besides 30, 30. I'm going to use 30, 30, and let's see here. Use 30, 30, and this time I think I'm going to use 80, 40. So I'm going to use 30, 30, and 80, 40 as my 2 points. It's my x1, y1, x2, y2. And so I have 40 minus 30, and then 80 minus 30. That gives me 10 over 50. I can divide both the top and the bottom by 10, and that gives me 1 over 5. So yes, we were right. So let's go on down and write our equation. So our point is 30, 30. The y1 is 30. The slope is 1 over 5. And the x is also 30. Okay, we have another. This time, looks like we have a negative slope because our line is falling from left to right. So here we go, it's falling. We know our point is, okay, so it's going by 100, so that's negative 500, and this is 300. So our point is negative 500, 300. Let's go ahead and find our slope. First, I'm going to use the graph to do that. So since I know I'm got a negative slope, I'm going to put my negative there. And I'm going to count down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and to the right 1. So I fell 6 over 1, or I can just say I fell 6. Let's grab some ordered pairs to make sure that we're right. So we're going to use negative 500, 300 as one ordered pair. And remember, I'm just doing this to check and make sure that my slope is correct. And I'm going to use negative 300, negative 900. So I'm going to do slope is equal to negative 900 minus 300, and then negative 300 minus negative 500. So that would be negative 1200. Negative 900 minus 300 is negative 1200. And then this time it would be negative 300 minus a negative. So we have a double negative. That becomes plus. So negative 300 plus 500 is 200. That would equal, let's see. We can divide, before we get there, we can divide both top and bottom by 100. So that cancels out the 2 zeros, and we have negative 12 divided by 2, which is indeed negative 6. So this matches. We can write our formula as y minus 300 is equal to the slope, which is negative 6, x minus negative 500. So we're going to put 300 here, negative 6 here, and negative 500. All right. I hope this was helpful for you. Please make sure you ask any questions that you might have when we're in class. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.